What's up, y'all? It's your girl Ebony. I just come to answer one of the questions in the comments. I could not find it. It's been a while for me to reply because I didn't have no storage in my phone. And I wanted to like jot down the different tips or whatever. So it was asked, one, how to deal with time management. Get your pen and paper ready, because I have a nice little list. And I'm basically going off of what I do to help me deal with time management. Every clinic is different. All the machines it might be the same machines, but a different system. And I'll get to that when I get to that part. But this is what I do to help me in this particular clinic, because this is the second clinic that I've worked in. But this is what I do to help me in this clinic with my time management. So for instance, I get to work, especially when I'm trying to figure everything out, I get to work 20 to 30 minutes early. For instance, if the first patient at the clinic gets there at 5 a.m., then if I was you, I would get to work at 4:30 a.m. Me, depending on which pod I'm in, for the most part, now that we are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, our first patient is supposed to be on the machine by 5:25. So if I don't open or close, then I try to get there at least by like 5 o'clock or like 4:40 or something like that. But if I had a rough night, honestly, sometimes it's the 5 o'clock. Okay. But I can risk that because I know how to pace myself. Yeah. So get to work on time. If you can't do 30 minutes early, at least 15 minutes early. If you are a floater or traveler, ask your clinic what time does your first patient go on? Because what I'm noticing with us working with a lot of float, a lot of travel, is that if they come at 5 o'clock, especially if it's a nurse, when they come at 5 o'clock, they are bum rushed with patients or bum rushed with information, and it's just too much. So they need to me personally, if I was a nurse, I would come at least 15 minutes earlier. All right. So next, go in chair side and get your patient's information. So once you get the schedule, get a copy of the schedule and look at your 4 patients. This is for techs or even nurses, because right now we got nurses working the pods. So get your 4 patients. This is what you write down. This is what I do. I write down, if I don't know nothing about the patients, or I'm looking at them like, who are those? Like when I had when I worked the COVID unit, I didn't know a lot of those patients. I only knew like a couple that were actually ours at our clinic, but the other patients weren't from our clinic. So I went in chair side. I would write whether they what their access is. Is it a fistula? I put F. If it was a graft, I put a G. If it was a catheter, I put a C. I put their needle size. I put if they had a bath outside of what goes in the wall, outside of the acid that's in the wall, then I would get that. I would write that down. I write what size their access is on. Is it on their right arm or their left arm? Is it in their leg? Do they have a leg graft? I've seen someone have a graft in their chest, literally right here. Is it a chest graft? What side is the catheter on, right or left? That way I know where I want them to go, which machine I want them to go at, because I personally like for the machine to be on the side of the access. I don't like the crossover with the lines, but if we have to cross over, we gonna cross over. It's okay. What else? Begin setting up your pod. So I did have a video. It's okay. I did have a video where I have like the needle packs that I have set up, and it varies depending on the patient, but this particular pack, and I'll drop the link for that video down below so you can see what my needle packs look like. I can't remember if it was for a graft or fistula patient, but I have that video. I'll drop that down below. But have your pack set up. And if it's a catheter and you are a PCT and you are in a state where you guys can't do catheters, like I'm in Georgia, oh, that's so annoying. But if you are in a state like that, then just have your catheter pack ready. If you don't know what to get, ask them, especially for new techs, ask your preceptor or better yet, to form a relationship with your nurses and really get to know your nurses, ask a nurse. Say, what do you like in your catheter packs? It's usually 2 wet syringes, 2 dry syringes. Dang, what is it called? The little clip thing is white. It's usually 1 4x4, and I can't think of the name of anything right now. Probably because I didn't go to work today. It's an off day. But anyways, it's usually a 4x4, and then the other part that keeps the catheter on so that it's not moving all over the place. And 2 of like, it's a silver pack of things. You know what? I'm gonna have to do a video with a catheter pack. Silver pack of things, so that the nurse can clean the skin and clean the catheter really good, and some alcohol swabs. So from off the top of my head, that's what I can think of. But of course, I would know it better if I was in the actual clinic. But anyways, just have your catheter pack ready. Have clamps ready. Have whatever you need ready. So that all your nurse has to do, and have your information put in. So that's another thing. Pull up chair side on your machines already. Go ahead and put your patients in. And at my clinic, we have to calibrate. So it's like two icons. You have the calibrate icon, and then you have the chair side icon. So we have to boop, 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 put in, do the calibration for the machine, and then do like a video game. It's like boop, boop, boop. Then we have to do the chair side, boop, 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 and then it'll come up. I say boop, 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 because I be having to go in tapping on the machines, but that's what we do. So we pull up our patient. If your machine's tested already, I'm gonna say per policy, once your machine's tested, go ahead and check it with your Phoenix meter or whatever meter that you have to check the pH and conductivity. So, and then make sure in your pod with your 4 chairs, I don't know, every clinic is set up differently, but if I have my 1, 2, 3 chairs and then a chair like right next to me, regardless, I make sure, because we have like 6 chairs in each station. I make sure that it's chair, machine, or machine, chair, machine, chair. I don't like chair to chair. I don't like the patients sitting right next to each other, because I just think like that's nasty. Even though they're gonna be in the room together, I just think about like their blood coming over or just something happening, and I'm like, that's nasty. So I hate, it's a strong word, but it's the truth. I hate when I see that, especially after I asked my FA before. I was like, hey, how's it supposed to be? And when she told me, I was like, why are people doing this when they've been doing dialysis? They've been working in this field longer than me. So anyways, that's how I would deal with time management, is prepare. Because if you do that for first shift, and then before your first shift patients begin to come off, set up for your second shift. Go ahead and have your packs made if they're not already there. Like my clinic, we don't make our packs for each other. We make our own packs. So if they're not already made, make your packs and put all your stuff together as close as you can to your machines. Like have your saline, your dialyzer, and lines, boom, and then put the pack right on top of it. So all you have to do is get your bleach rags. When your patient's done, like wipe everything down, make sure it's dry enough so the patient can sit down, and you can just lay that pack out. I usually keep the bag from the saline line, I usually keep the bag from the lines, and I tape it on the side of the chair. That's like the little trash bag, especially for the catheter patients, because the nurse, it'd be a lot of stuff on there. And then sometimes, like if it's a nurse in my pod or the nurse on my side in my bay area, then I will come by and make sure like all their trash, like I'll clean it up. But that's just me, and sometimes it takes time for you to get to that, because I remember when my preceptor was telling me when I first started, she was just like, you know, you got to be able to help other people. And I was like, I can't help nobody. I can't even help myself. So don't help nobody if you can't help yourself. If your section is not in order and you are still in the where you find yourself, like where you're like drowning every day or every other day that you come to work, don't help nobody. Don't feel no pressure to help nobody. And if somebody say something, you can say what I said. Like, how am I help you? I can't even help myself. How? It doesn't make sense. Like, because at that time we were short staffed at the clinic that I was at, but it was just crazy. And I was new to dialysis, and I'm just like, how, if I help y'all, then my pod, which is already, I'm already drowning now. The water is here. If I help y'all, it's gonna be worse. And then you're gonna be talking about how I got my patients on late, and then it's gonna be a bunch of extra nonsense. So I'm just like, talk to the hand. Okay. I will be like, no, I cannot help you right now. Catch me in 8 months to a year. But right now, it's not a lot of help that I can do outside of my pod, or even sometimes outside of your Bay Area. Now, I will encourage you when it comes to time management, just like, especially when you go to break, like, be courteous. And if you're getting ready to go to break, go ahead, go right after you do the 30-minute vital check. Don't go right on vital check. If vital check is coming up at 7:30, you like, okay, I'm going to take a break. Do all your vitals, then go to break. That way, when you come back, you really know how much time you took on your break. And the person is only doing like one vital check versus doing two. Like, think about that. The other question was how to deal with negative work environment. This might have to be a whole nother video. I'm going to make it sweet and short, but I'm going to do another one on that. Dealing with negative work environment, you have to judge it by the person and by whatever support you have. So when I had a negative work environment, my manager, I knew, supported me, but I also knew that what I did depended on her reputation because I knew her. So for the most part, I tried to behave. But if someone was trying to bully me in the midst of that moment on the floor, then yes, I would say something. This one lady, she was crazy. But she didn't always try to directly do things to me. It was a lot of indirect, but it was towards me. And I only know because people told me, and because, like, I'm not stupid. So I just ignored her. And then now, one of her favorite peoples, they're not even really anything anymore. Because the lady was crazy, and she needs Jesus, and she needs to be healed and delivered and set free from whatever trauma has caused her to have split personalities. This is not nothing against people that have split personalities, but I'm just saying, a lot of times they don't know how to really be a friend or be anything to anybody like that. And my heart goes out to them. Okay. So yeah, in a negative work environment, honestly, once my manager left, I decided that I would leave when I was ready and couldn't take it anymore, because I realized that I need a good manager. I don't necessarily have to have a good team. It does help. It really, really does. Because now I can depend on certain people and they can depend on me. But if the manager leaves, when she left, it just felt more weighty. I just didn't feel no type of support. So I was like, I can't do this. So that's why I left. So even if you have to leave the clinic now, I will say that what I should have did was leave that clinic and went to another clinic. But at the same time, I'm not tripping because I don't regret what I did do. I ended up going to billing, and then I came back to the floor. But going to billing gave me a break off of the floor, but it also helped me to see what I really liked to do, or where I wanted to be in this time. or at that time, because I was like, oh, I hate billing, because I'm not a person that can sit still for extended periods of time. So I couldn't stand billing, and I feel like on the floor you have more control over your section, over your area. You have a sense of independence. But with billing, there was a sense of independence, but I still always felt micromanaged. Even though at a point we had got to where we was working from home, like I still felt like, and I felt like I wasn't good enough. But all that came because that was not the job for me. So sometimes when it comes to jobs, it's not them, it's you. That doesn't fit your personality. That job doesn't fit who you are and who you want to become. Like the fact that I'm in nursing school, I talked to, when I was in billing, I had talked to one of the managers, and I was telling her what I wanted to do, that I'm in school, and she was like, this probably isn't going to work out then. And I was like, no, it's not. So when I left, they weren't really surprised or caught off guard, because I'm not the type of, I won't be the type of nurse that can just sit at the desk the whole time. Like, I have to be able to get involved with the people. So I hope that helps, but I will definitely do another video to go into more detail on how to deal with a negative work environment. So this video is primarily about dealing with time management. If you have any tips out there for time management, y'all drop them in the comments, whatever. Drop them in the comments. If you need help with time management, did this help you? Let me know in the comments, and I will catch y'all next time.